Recording in progress.
The floor is yours, Mr. Chair.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. We will get right into it, and I will call to order the Public Improvement Commission hearing of September 21st, 2023. Mr. Liming, please take a roll call.
Would the representative from the Public Works Department please state his or her name for the record?
Yasha Franklin Hodge.
Property Management Department?
Allahan.
Transportation?
Amy Gordy.
Inspectional Services?
Brian Ronan.
Water and Sewer Commission?
Denise Devlin.
And Disabilities Commission? Oh, I saw Sarah on here. Are you there, Sarah?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Sarah Leo.
Great, thank you. We have everybody.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So first item, at the request of the Public Improvement Commission staff, the acceptance of the minutes of the PIC hearing held on September 7th, 2023. Do we hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of September 7th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. On to our next item, our utility pole hearings. Utility pole 1 on a petition by Eversource Energy for a utility pole installation within Gardner Street, Brighton, to install one new private guy anchor to be located on its northerly side, generally east of Malvern Street. Would the petitioners please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and provide a brief overview of the project, after which we'll open up the floor for commissioners to ask questions, and then staff and the general public.
Hi, good morning. It's Katie Flaherty from Eversource Electric. I'm sharing a screen right now with the plan on Gardner Street. We are requesting to install a guy wire to provide support for overhead wires for relocated poles, relocated temporary poles that were already installed on Gardner Street. This is the pole we're talking about, and this is where the proposed guy would be installed.
Commissioners, any questions? PIC staff or members of the public?
I'm all set. I will take this opportunity to remind the public, if you wish to ask questions or add testimony, please use the raise hand function at the bottom of your screen. But I see none at this time.
All right, hearing no questions, do I hear a motion to approve utility pole hearing number 1?
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by Eversource Energy for a utility pole installation within Gardner Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much. On to utility pole hearing number 2 on a joint petition by Eversource Energy and Verizon New England Incorporated for utility pole installation within Canterbury Street, West Roxbury, to install 4 new private utility poles to be located on its northwesterly side, generally northeast of Bourne Street. Would the petitioners please reintroduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us an overview of what is proposed?
Good morning, it's Katie Flaherty from Eversource Electric. Again, this is, we're requesting to relocate 4 poles from one side of the street to the other. Here's 1, here's 2, there's 3, and then here's the 4th one. That might be a little blurry. This work is to support city roadway reconstruction on Canterbury Street between Bourne Street and Walk Hill Street.
Commissioners, any questions?
Oh, hi, Katie. This is Denise Devlin from Boston Water and Sewer. Yeah, I checked our GIS map, and GIS shows that there's a drain line along that area where you're proposing the poles. If you can just, take some test pits just to verify you're not near the drain line.
Okay, Denise, I'm making note of that. We can do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions? PIC staff or members of the public?
Just one point of clarification, Katie. I think you just mentioned that these poles are replacing the poles on the south side of Canterbury Street. Those poles are going to be on the south side are going to be removed. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay. How many poles are being removed? 4?
4.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, 4.
That's all.
All right, hearing nothing else, do I hear a motion to approve utility pole hearing number 2?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by Eversource Energy and Verizon New England for a utility pole installation within Canterbury Street as read into record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. On to utility pole hearing number 3 on a petition by Verizon New England Incorporated for a utility pole installation within Millet Street, Dorchester, to install one new private utility pole to be located on its westerly side at address number 75, generally south of Park Street. Would the petitioners please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us a quick overview of what is being proposed?
Good morning, James Day Toronto, representing Verizon New England. Verizon is proposing to place a new pole, pole 688 on /2 on Millet Street in front of number 75 Millet Street. The customer at 75 Millet Street will be removing the existing tree which has drops on it. So the drops will be transferred to the new utility pole. Are there any questions?
Commissioners? PIC staff, and I believe we may have some members of the public in the hearing room. Is that correct?
So we have some members of the public in the hearing room this afternoon. If they wish to speak, now is an opportunity. But generally,
Not much. The Verizon person said everything, but we have a really bad tree that's falling apart, and we have neighbors that's fearful of the tree. So we want to cut the tree down, so we want the wires to be removed. So that's why the pole is important to be in front of my home.
Thank you. PIC staff, other folks who want to comment on this?
Could I just get that constituent to restate his or her name for the record? I just missed it.
Joanne Dorgelis.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
All right. Hearing nothing else, do I hear a motion to approve utility pole hearing number 3?
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by Verizon New England for a utility pole installation in Millet Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. And good luck with your tree, Joanne.
Thank you.
All right, on to the public hearing section of our agenda on a joint petition. Public hearing number 1 on a joint petition by 88 NOAA LLC and the Boston Redevelopment Authority, DBA, the Boston Planning and Development Agency, for the vertical discontinuance of a portion of North Washington Street Public Way, Boston proper, located on its westerly side at address number 88 north of Anthony Rip Valenti Way, vertically above the grade of the sidewalk. This was new business on 9/27 as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Discontinuance Plan Vertical 88 North Washington Street, Boston, one sheet dated September 7th, 2022, revised June 6th, 2023. The petitioners please introduce themselves, their affiliations, give us an update on any changes since your new business hearing and how you'd like to proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Attorney Matt Eckel with Fletcher Tilton on behalf of the applicant. We're actually here this morning respectfully requesting a continuance on this matter. As read into the record and as we explained at our new business hearing, this is a co-petition with the Boston Planning and Development Agency. Following our new business hearing, we were hopeful to appear at the September BPDA board meeting so they could take their actions to move this forward. Unfortunately, we're still figuring out a few of the final details with the BPDA and staff, and we're not able to appear at that board hearing. We are hopeful to continue this and move it forward. However, to be respectful of the commission's time, we would request a continuance perhaps for a couple of months just to make sure when we come back we're ready, perhaps to maybe even your December meeting if that is amenable to the commission. So we are respectfully requesting a continuance at this time.
Not a problem. Do I hear a motion to continue?
So we just need to declare the date of the hearing.
Do we need a motion, Todd? I know I ask you this every time.
Yeah. We take a motion, but we need to declare the date of the hearing. Matt, I think you said you wanted to push to December. Our two hearings in December are the 7th and the 21st. Which of the, you want the 7th?
Well, is the 7th a new business or is that a full hearing?
Either. So you're eligible to come back for, you only need to come back one more time. You don't need to redo new business.
Sure. I think just in the interest of respecting the commission's time, I guess December 21st, just to give us a little bit extra time would be great.
That's fine.
Do I hear a motion to continue to December 21st?
I'll make a motion to continue public hearing item number 1 to December 21st.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. We'll see you in a few months.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good luck. On to public hearing number 2 on a joint petition by AREMA Region Number 74 LLC, AREMA Region Number 68 LLC, and NECO TRS LLC for the making of specific repairs within the following roadways in South Boston, consisting of curb realignment and sidewalk reconstruction, as well as a new raised crosswalk. Melcher Street on its southwesterly side at NECO Street, a private way at Melcher Street. This was new business from September 7th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Specific Repair Plan, Melcher Street at NECO Street intersection South Boston Waterfront, one sheet dated May 11th, 2023. Petitioners, please introduce themselves, their affiliations, give us a brief reminder about the proposed action and any changes since your new business hearing.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the Commission. My name is Rebecca Lee. I'm a real estate attorney at Mintz representing the proponents. With me are John Mosier, the civil engineer from VHB, and Naomi May representing the owner. There have been no changes since the new business hearing a few weeks ago. This is a relatively small, discrete project involving the reconstruction of the intersection of Melcher Street, a public street, and NECO Street, a private way open to public travel, to create an accessible path to the Harbor Way, to the Harbor Walk, which does not currently exist. John will put up a picture of the 15 NECO Street building. It is that owner that is actually going to be doing the work. They're going to be doing the work within the city right-of-way of Melcher Street, right here at the bottom of this plan where you see the new crosswalk that will be created. These will be handicap compliant ramps. And in the background, you see the 15 NECO Street building, which is well underway and will be completed in 2024. For a presentation of the engineering specifics, I will leave that to John. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. This is John Moser with VHB. Good morning. So as Rebecca mentioned, we're adding a one raised crosswalk at the corner of Melcher Street and NECO Street, which is partially in the public way. This includes the addition of 2 new pedestrian ramps and will complete the accessible route to the Harbor Walk. Addition to that, the project is proposing the crosswalk to be raised as part of the required off-site mitigation by BPDA, which will provide a safer pedestrian access and help with resiliency in the area. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Commissioners? GIC staff or members of the public?
Tom Reddy, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, councilors. Just one request, if I could. The intersection of Necco and Melcher has a street light that is wired from another as opposed to underground. I guess my request would be that the applicant and the city consider getting that repaired. Happy to show you. I decided to walk out here and see the site, right? That's the wire that powers that street light. Every other street light here is powered underground. And that's the crosswalk that's going to be taken up and repaired or improved. So while that's underway, I think it would be fantastic if we could get that street light wired underground. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. We appreciate the real-time live video from the scene. Thank you. Is that something that the proponents would be willing to look at with, in conjunction with the city street lighting division? Obviously, I don't want to sort of require the proponents to be doing work that is, fully outside, to the extent that this is fully outside the scope of the areas that you will be digging or doing significant civil work. But to the extent that there is an opportunity here with when the sidewalk is torn up of making a conduit repair in the street lighting system at the same time, it certainly does seem like a good opportunity to not tear up a sidewalk, only to have to tear it up again at some point in the future. So I guess I think my question to the proponents is, would you be willing to work with our street lighting team to see if there is an opportunity to solve both these problems at once?
I think, speaking for my client, I think we'd be happy to look at what that involves and whether we can coordinate with the city street lighting division, because the street lights are owned by the city, but we appreciate that you don't want this all ripped up twice at the same time. But at this point, nobody knows what the scope of that involves. And if it involves taking down a wire, I assume it doesn't involve the Four Point Channel Landmarks District Commission, because all of this is Landmark District Commission. So I'm very mindful and respectful of that. But we can ask VHB to take a look at what that would involve, and we can circle back with you. Who is the right person in the street lighting division for us to connect with, if I may ask?
It would be Mike Donaghy, who leads the division, would be the place I would start, and he may connect you with one of the people on his team to do the deep dive. And I think that it would be great to get VHB to just sit with them and understand if there's a conduit issue that is within the extents of your project and could be repaired at the same time. Would love to get both these things done together, but wouldn't ask you to go outside the planned extents of your project if the work that's needed is somewhere else on the street. So.
Okay, and could you just spell that last name, please?
Yes, it is Donaghy.
Got it. Okay.
And Todd can make that connection with you, and we'll let Mike know to expect it.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch with Mike and also probably Joe Sullivan.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave that to John Moser. Outside my area of expertise.
Yep, thank you.
But thank you for the willingness to work on it, and thank you, Tom, for flagging that potential opportunity there. Much appreciated. Any other comments or questions from PIC staff or public members of the public?
I see none.
All right, seeing nothing else, do we hear a motion to approve public hearing number 2?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by AREMA Region Number 74 LLC and AREMA Region Number 68 LLC and Necco TRS LLC for the making of specific repairs in Melcher Street and Necco Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
On to public hearing number 3 on a petition by the City of Boston Parks and Recreation Department for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in Boston proper, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk reconstruction with structural soil, as well as new and relocated pedestrian ramps, specialty pavement, street lighting infrastructure, street trees, planters, landscaping, bike racks, and driveway curb cuts. Boylston Street, northeast of Dartmouth Street between Boylston Street and St. James/Huntington Avenue, St. James Avenue, generally between Trinity Place and Dartmouth Street/Huntington Avenue. This was new business on September 7th, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Specific Repairs Plan, Improvements to Copley Square, Dartmouth Street, St. James Street, and Boylston Street, Boston, 5 sheets dated September 20th, 2023. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, give us a very brief introduction to the action, and tell us about any changes that have been made since your new business hearing.
Hello, commissioners. Thank you very much. My name is V.E. Chatfield, and I am a project manager with Boston Parks and Recreation. I'm here today with Zach Crisco from Sasaki, representing the design team. We are here, we call this improvements to Copley Square Park, which is a little bit quicker. Full reconstruction of Copley Square Park, including our fountain, paving, planting, lighting, drainage, and electrical. We're adding some trees, planters, and new pavement. We started our project outreach in 2021, and we began construction recently in July. We anticipate our park opening in the fall of 2024. So I'm going to pass it over to Zach, and he can walk us through the plans. There have been some very minor adjustments in the plans, mostly for call-outs, but I'll let Zach go into that. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, as B noted, there were no substantial changes to the plans. There was one request from city staff to note that the curb ramps on the north side of Boylston Street are future Public Works Department scope, so we've added that note here. That also exists at the east end of the street here. Otherwise, there's been no changes to the plan that was presented 2 weeks ago.
Sorry, there's one other note on the right hand where we are saying that the curbs will be, any curb ramps that are damaged will be replaced if we're installing tactile, there we go, exactly. Replacement shall occur if installation of tactile panels cause damage to existing ramps to remain. But otherwise, our ramps along St. James Avenue are in good condition. We've confirmed that they are compliant, and they don't have the cast iron tactile warning panels right now, which we will be installing. So if those are damaged, we will replace them and any other ramps that triggers.
Commissioners, any questions? PIC staff, members of the public?
Martin Roeder, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just had a question about this because I know there were plans to think about closing that part of Dartmouth Street extensively, perhaps permanently to traffic, and I was wondering if there's been any progress along those lines, since I understand a consultant was supposed to be hired to do a traffic study to examine the impact of such closures upon traffic, particularly along Berkeley Street in Back Bay. Thank you.
I'm happy to take that. So at this point, there's no, I will say we can get you an update on that effort. That's a planning effort of the Transportation Department and the Boston Planning and Development Agency to look at potential changes to Dartmouth Street that is taking place wholly separate from the Parks project. So nothing that is being proposed here by the Parks Department relates to any of those potential future changes or scenarios with that. I don't have an update off the top of my head of where that process is to do that additional exploration of potential changes to Dartmouth, temporary, permanent, seasonal, whatever they may be. But we can certainly get you one if you want to reach out to my office or to Maggie in Neighborhood Services. We should be able to get you and NAB an update on what the progress of that evaluation is.
Thank you, Joshua.
Any other questions, comments from the public or PIC staff?
I think we're all set on this.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 3?
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by the City of Boston Parks and Recreation Department for the making of specific repairs within Boylston Street, Dartmouth Street, and St. James Ave, as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any abstain or oppose? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
On to public hearing number 4 on a joint petition by Seaport G Title Holder LLC and the Boston Redevelopment Authority, DBA, the Boston Planning and Development Agency, for the discontinuance of any and all rights to travel the public may have had within a portion of Seaport Boulevard Public Way, South Boston, located on its northeasterly side, northwest of Pier 4 Boulevard. This was new business on September 7th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Discontinuance Plan, Seaport Boulevard, South Boston, one sheet dated September 2023. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us a quick reintroduction to this action, as well as any changes that may have occurred since your new business hearing.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the Commission. My name is Jody Sanchez from Goldstone Stores. I'm here on behalf of Seaport G Title Holder, the owner and developer of Block G of the Seaport Square project, and the co-petitioner on the next 2 petitions. I'm joined today by Amy Prange of WF Development on behalf of Block G developer, as well as John Schmidt from Niche Engineering. The BPDA is co-petitioner on this petition, so I'm also joined by Maggie Pitts-Dilly of the BPDA. So the petition, we're here today to respectfully request approval of a discontinuance from the Seaport Boulevard layout of parcel G2, which is located, as shown here, at the intersection of Pier 4 Boulevard and Seaport Boulevard. This discontinued area will accommodate a subsurface garage and building corner. As a refresher on a little bit of the history of this area, the requested action represents the culmination of a historic plan memorializing certain land exchange agreements with the BPDA, which was designed to complete the street grid arising from the Central Artery Tunnel project and to set the boundaries of Block G and Block F development sites. So this action and the next one represents the final items in those historic agreements and conclude what we started to accomplish back in 2016 when we were last before the Commission on these items. And as a reminder, in 2016, the Commission approves vertical discontinuances from Pier 4 Boulevard and a vertical discontinuance from Seaport Boulevard at the same elevations. And so at the time, G1 and G2, which is the current petition, was owned by MassDOT, and it was later conveyed to the city. So this action essentially just continues the strip of previously discontinued areas along the eastern boundary of Block G. Since we were last here at New Business 2 weeks ago, the BPDA board voted to take this parcel and convey it to Seaport G Title Holder LLC in line with the historic agreement and plans. And that order of taking was recorded yesterday, actually. So I'll now turn it over to John to just walk through the specific G2 plan.
So G2 is highlighted in yellow here. It consists of approximately 179 square feet. And this discontinuance would be from, as I like to say, from heaven to hell, where the next discontinuance is an area within the earth. Again, this falls in line with the discontinuances that were done in 2016. Any questions?
Commissioners?
Hello, good morning. I just have a quick question. At the last meeting, it was brought up that the drain line would be relocated. Would that be through a site plan or an updated site plan?
Yes, when this parcel gets developed in the next few years, the first thing we will do is present the commission with a relocation plan prior to any work that's done to the site itself.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
PIC staff or members, other commissioners, any other questions? PIC staff or members of the public?
I think we're all set.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 5?
5?
Did I get that right? 4, excuse me, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by Seaport G Title Holder LLC and the Boston Redevelopment Authority for the discontinuance and Seaport Boulevard is read in the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed or abstained? So moved. On to public hearing number 5 on a joint petition by Seaport G Title Holder LLC and the Boston Redevelopment Authority, DBA, the Boston Planning and Development Agency for the vertical discontinuance of a portion of Seaport Boulevard Public Way, South Boston, located on its northeasterly side, northwest of Pier 4 Boulevard, vertically below the grade of the sidewalk. New business, this was new business on September 7th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Vertical Discontinuance Plan, Seaport Boulevard, South Boston, one sheet dated September 2023. The proponents please reintroduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us a brief reminder of what this project is and any changes since your since your new business hearing.
Great, Jody Sanchez here again from Wilson & Stores, here on behalf of Seaport G Title Holder, the owner and developer of Block G of the Seaport Square project and co-petitioner. I'm joined by Amy Prange of WS Development on behalf of the Block G developer, as well as John Schmidt from Niche Engineering. The BPDA as co-petitioner on this petition is also here, represented by Maggie Pitts-Dilley. This action is for a vertical discontinuance of the below-grade portions of the Seaport Boulevard layout at parcel G1, located also at the intersection of Pier 4 Boulevard and Seaport Boulevard. This discontinued area will accommodate a subsurface garage, and this is all being done in line with historic plans and agreements from some years ago that was meant to lay out the street grid arising from the Central Artery Tunnel project. And since we were here at New Business 2 weeks ago, parcel G1, which was previously owned by the city, was voted by the BPDA board to be taken and conveyed to Seaport G title holder in line with this historic plan and agreement. And that order of taking was recorded yesterday. So that parcel is now owned in fee by the BPDA. John, do you want to walk through the G1 plan?
Sure, thank you. John Schmidt with Niche Engineering. This parcel consists of 57 square feet, and the discontinuance starts at elevation 13.4 to negative 86.6 Boston City-based data. And again, it reflects the actions that were done in 2016, and the drain line that cuts through the corner of this parcel will be relocated prior to any development of parcel G.
Commissioners, any questions? PIC staff or members of the public?
All set.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 5?
Make a motion to approve a joint petition by Seaport G Title Holder LLC and the BRA, DBA, BPDA for a vertical discontinuance in Seaport Boulevard.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
On to public hearing number 6 on a petition by CCC River LLC for the granting of an earth retention license for the installation of a temporary earth support system within the following public ways in Hyde Park. River Street, generally at address numbers 1185 to 1203 west of Central Avenue. Central Avenue, generally at address number 12 north of River Street. Winthrop Street on its southerly side, generally west of Central Avenue. This was new business from September 7th, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Conceptual Temporary Excavation Support Plan, 1185 and 1191 to 1203 River Street and 12 Central Avenue, Hyde Park, 2 sheets dated July 2023. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and give us a brief refresher on this action and any changes since your new business hearing.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, TIC staff, Attorney John Fulgini, and I'm here on behalf of CCC River LLC on their petition to install an earth retention system along sections of River, Central, and Winthrop Streets in Hyde Park. This request is to fortify the foundation and surrounding properties during construction. With me this morning is Holly Grace from B'nai Housing and the team engineer Fred Keeler. This request is in support of an approved 63-unit, 100% affordable senior housing development located on 1201 River Street in Hyde Park. At this point, I will turn it over to Fred, and he will walk you guys through the plans. But we appreciate the opportunity to present this morning.
Thanks, John. Actually going to turn it over to Nate Davis at McPhail, who prepared the SOE plans, and he'll give an overview.
Good morning, everyone, Commission, members of the public. As we presented last week, the plan is to install a soldier pile and lagging system to support the excavation for the footings for the new proposed building. There have not been any changes since last week, so I'll just review what we discussed last week. The footings are generally be about 4 feet below grade. However, some over excavation will be needed to reach suitable soil below that, up to 10 feet, probably less depending on where it's encountered. So the earth support system will consist of soldier piles and lagging that will be offset from the property line 5 feet max along Winthrop Street, and then less along Central Avenue and River Street, about 3'6" and 3'8" along those two streets. There are some tree wells along River Street which will be protected and maintained during construction. The SOE location will be coordinated to not interfere with the trees below there. And there will be a pedestrian easement that will be provided at the end of the construction. Are there any questions on the approach?
Commissioners? PIC staff or members of the public?
All set.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 6?
Make a motion to approve a petition by CCC River LLC for the granting of an earth retention license in River Street, Central Ave, and Winthrop Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you.
On to public hearing number 7, on a petition by Vicinity Energy Boston Incorporated for a granted location to install a steam distribution main and associated infrastructure within the following public ways in Boston proper: Brookline Avenue, generally between Lansdowne Street and Overland Street, Lansdowne Street at Brookline Avenue. This was new business on September 7th, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Granted Location Plan, Brookline Avenue, Vicinity Fenway Steam Line Extension Phase 2, 5 sheets dated September 14th, 2023. The proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, give us a brief reintroduction to this project and any changes since your new business hearing or changes on how you would like this, and let us know how you'd like to proceed with this.
Sure. Dan Kennedy, project manager for Vicinity Energy. I'd like to respectfully request a continuance to October 5th, allow for some additional coordination with the butters.
Excellent. Do I hear a motion to continue public hearing number 7 till October 5th?
I'll make a motion to continue public hearing item number 7 till October 5th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for this. And on to public hearing number 8, on a petition by Vicinity Energy Boston Incorporated for granted location to install a steam distribution main and associated infrastructure within the following public ways in Roxbury: St. Stephen's Street between Gainsborough Street and Jarvis Place, to Gainsborough Street southeast of St. Stephen's Street. New business from September 7th, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Granted Location Plan, St. Stephen's Street, Boston, 19 sheets, dated December 5th, 2022, revised September 15th, 2023. Would the proponents please reintroduce themselves, their affiliations, give us a brief reintroduction to this project, and any updates since your new business hearing.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is Ken Stanley at Trimont Engineering. Thank you for your time this morning. We're presenting the St. Stephen Street steam main extension for Vicinity Energy. It's a 10-inch. It's a 10-inch welded steel steam main beginning at Gainsborough Street in Boston. And I'm going to bring up my screen here and share. So we're beginning the project on Gainsborough Street in Boston, running down St. Stephen Street for the purposes of bringing a steam supply to the Northeastern University. From the new business meeting, we had a number of comments that needed to be addressed. We've addressed those comments, and I'd like to show them to you now. The first comment was a call out for reconstruction of pedestrian ramps at all four corners at the intersection of St. Stephen Street and Gainsborough intersections. So we've included these notes on the drawings provided, and those were submitted last evening. The second comment that was added or requested was add the city shadow conduit handholds on the alignment. We've done that. We've highlighted those locations along the route as requested. The third comment was to relabel the treatment to Jarvis Place to specify the driveway curb cut apron and will be reconstructed in kind rather than pedestrian ramps. We've included that note on the drawing, and it's been updated. The fourth comment was to address the location of a pole in the sidewalk along St. Stephen Street. This pole, so we've gone through the coordination effort with Verizon. We've determined that it's a Verizon pole. We've shared our alignment with them and are in communication with them. We made a deviation around the pole and working with them currently to ensure that we're addressing their concerns. So those are the major four comments that we've addressed on the set of drawings and were submitted last evening. The last comment here was to specify the curb-to-curb mill and overlay and resurfacing for the entirety of the project limits. I believe Vicinity is going to speak to that.
Yeah, sure. I can speak to that. I think during the new business hearing, we stated, this is the cost that we can't pass on to our customers. So ultimately, if it is a requirement from the commissioners, Vicinity will agree to repave curb to curb. So I guess that is a question to the commissioners, if it is a requirement or a condition for approval.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. Anyone want to respond to that or other questions related to this, these revisions? Right. Nobody else is raising their hand to respond. So I will say, I think, first, in order for the pedestrian ramps to be considered fully ADA compliant, it will be necessary to fully repave the entirety of the intersections so that the grading and slopes as people approach the street from the ramp are appropriately in line with ADA. We find frequently that ramps which are aligned via simple mounding of asphalt do not meet the full standards for accessibility on that transition between the sidewalk and the street. So I think, it is certainly our intent to leave this section of street with fully compliant pedestrian ramps. So I think that the entirety of that intersection will need to be repaved for that reason. Our hope would be that that can continue, given that you will be disrupting some of the pavement further along St. Stephen Street, that we can simply continue that repaving work along St. Stephen as part of the work that you will already be doing on the nearby pavement. I think that is, given the understanding that there is some past utility cuts in this location, you will still be doing some very significant and frankly, I think more disruptive in terms of width utility work and trenching here than is what exists today. And we would like to see you do put the street back in a better condition than when you found it, understanding that the additive impact of your utility cuts on what's already there is likely to result in pretty significant degradation of the street.
So yeah, we want to be a partner with the city of Boston, improve the public realm. So, we will move forward and add to the drawings here, the resurfacing curb for the extent of the project. Thank you, Commissioner.
Yep, I appreciate that. Commissioners, any other questions, comments? PIC staff or members of the public?
All set, thanks.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 8?
Make a motion to approve a petition by Vicinity Energy Boston for a grant of location in St. Stephen Street and Gainsborough Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Appreciate the time.
All right. On to public hearing number 9 on a petition by 3371 Washington Owner LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement adjacent to Washington Street Public Way, West Roxbury, located on its northwesterly side at address number 3371, generally southwest of Green Street / Glen Road. This was new business on September 7th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Pedestrian Easement Plan 3371 to 3375 Washington Street, Jamaica Plain, one sheet dated September 8th, 2023. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, give us a brief reintroduction to the proposed action, and update us on any changes since your new business hearing.
Absolutely. Good morning, commissioners, members of the staff, and the public. My name is Matthew Zaroli. I'm the project manager for Saniotis, the civil engineer for the project, and I'll be presenting. I'll share my screen now. So this is a proposed 5-story, 39-unit affordable senior housing building, and we will be, putting in the new building as well as the sidewalk. Per request from the BPDA, we have been asked to provide a 2-foot pedestrian easement from the back of the sidewalk, from the property line into our property, to provide an actual 7-foot full-width sidewalk instead of just the 5-foot minimum. This is consistent with our neighbors to the east, 3353, and I think it's an initiative that the City of Boston is looking for in many cases where the traffic is being increased. So this is the easement plan. It's very simple. It's just the full width of the property frontage by 2-foot setback, and again, it's consistent with our neighbors to the east on Washington Street.
Commissioners, any questions? PIC staff or members of the public?
All set.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 9?
Make a motion to approve a petition by 3371 Washington Owner LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement in Washington Street as read in the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much. On to public hearing number 9 on a petition by 3371 Washington Owner LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement adjacent to Washington Street Public Way. On to public hearing number 10 on a joint petition by 3371 Washington Owner LLC and 3371 Washington Developer LLC for the making of specific repairs within Washington Street Public Way, West Roxbury, located on its northwesterly side at address number 3371, generally southwest of Green Street / Glen Road, consisting of curb and sidewalk reconstruction with structural soil, as well as new and relocated specialty pavement, street lighting infrastructure, street trees, and driveway curb cuts. This was new business on September 7th, as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Specific Repairs Plan, 3371 Washington Street, Jamaica Plain, Boston, one sheet dated September 18th, 2023. Would the proponents please reintroduce themselves, their affiliations, give us a brief reintroduction to this action, and let us know about any changes since your new business hearing.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Matthew Zrolli with Saniotis, and I'm joined by the owner and my colleagues. So we just introduced the project. This is again a 39 unit public senior housing, affordable housing, and per our hearing earlier this month, we were requested to add a few details and essentially address again questions from BPDA as well as members of the staff. So the changes since the last hearing, we've added structural sand underneath the portion of the sidewalk within the Boston right-of-way. This is to allow the root zone to expand for the trees. These are the two proposed tree wells that we'll be installing. Additionally, we also have pervious pavers, and we've added a detail for that. So the pavers are actually in line with the street trees. That detail is here, so that will also allow permeability for the root zone for the trees, and will provide a little bit of a buffer to sort of signal which part of the sidewalk is walkable versus which part is more designed for the tree zone. We've also added the public pedestrian easement that we just discussed, just to show that for coordination. And we've added all the details that were requested by Jill Zick and Amy Cording, just to show everything on this one sheet: the tree protection, the proposed tree pit, which also shows the structural sand soil for the root zone to expand. And those are the changes since the last hearing.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? I'll just say I appreciate the work the little bit of extra work to help ensure we have a healthy tree canopy for many years to come. So nice to see that change. PIC staff or members of the public?
All set.
All right. Hearing nothing else, do I hear a motion to approve public hearing number 10?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by 3371 Washington Owner LLC and 331 Washington Developer LLC for the making of specific repairs within Washington Street as read into record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, and that concludes the public hearing section of our agenda, and on to the new business, of which we have one item, which is 1 Tabor Street, Warren Street, Roxbury, pedestrian easement, specific repairs on a set of petitions by 1 Tabor Street LLC. Would the proponents please introduce themselves, their affiliations, and walk us through what you are proposing to do?
Hello, Mr. Chairman and members of the Commission. Thank you for that. I'm Jacob Murray from Waterfield Design Group. We're the engineer on the project for 1 Tabor Street LLC. And I will share my screen. So the project is for a pedestrian easement and then also a specific repairs along sidewalk. This is the pedestrian easement. It's highlighted in green. Basically, the foundation of the building is back from the property line, so the space will be continued for the sidewalk for the use of the public. So there needs to be an easement in the area outlined in green. Furthest from the property is about 6.3 feet in along Tabor Street, and the whole easement contains about 1,062 square feet. That's pretty simple. The specific repairs is for replacing concrete and a little bit of brick sidewalk with concrete and stone pavers along the edges. Trees, a number of trees are being added. 2 trees are being added with mulch around them. We're also adding single and twin acorn pole lights. I believe 3 new lights. There is also be adding a new curb cut along Tabor Street, 10-foot curb cut along Tabor Street driveway. There will be 2 accessible ramps that will be done as part of this. They are reciprocated by 2 existing accessible ramps that were recently done within the last 5 years. And there'll be 12 bike parking spaces along Warren Street. in the southern area of the plant. So That's the summation of the project.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, questions?
You mentioned that the 2 reciprocal ramps were recently done. Have the compliance on those ramps been confirmed?
Yes, they have been confirmed.
Would it be possible just to add a note on the plans for the next hearing date?
Yes, we can do that.
Great, thank you.
Commissioners, other questions?
Just a question about what are the hatched areas that are in the road on Tabor Street?
Those are loading areas and also no parking and loading areas so that vehicles can make the turn into the driveway.
That's going to be reflected with signage, that's not paint or intended to be anything visible there. You're just showing the area that will be no parking?
We're showing it. I mean, the applicant would like to paint it, but if that's not possible, then we could just sign it.
Yeah, I think we should start with the signage for sure. If there were to be paint, it would quite look like that.
Okay. We can make those changes.
Can I ask, related to something that came up in the previous agenda item, have you had any discussion or coordination with the city's green infrastructure team about the tree pits and the planting plan as it relates to soil or other elements that may be helpful for ensuring that the tree canopy here remains healthy?
Yes, we have, and we have unique details for around the tree pits that were directed by that committee, and that's reflected here on sheet 3, the sidewalk tree root support layer detail.
Excellent, great, thank you very much. Commissioners, any other questions? Yeah, I see staff or members of the public.
No, all set.
All right, will you be ready for your public hearing in 2 weeks on October 5th?
Yes, we will.
Excellent. Well, then we will see you then.
All right. That's great. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you so much. And with that, we have reached the end of our agenda in a short 1 hour. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Thank you all.